I think the important thing for me is to keep pushing against my limits, even though those limits may come down, right? Or even though I have to work around my back, um, or a bad shoulder, or uh, usually it's my elbow. So it's not falling into despair about those things, but learning how to work around it. And I think gyms could help people do that. I think gyms can help older, guys who have stayed in shape
Yeah.
to work through these very common issues.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Optimal Aging, the show for fitness, health, and well-being professionals who want to grow their businesses by reaching more people over 50. I'm your host, Jay Croft of Prime Fit Content. And today I want to do something a little bit different, stemming from an encounter I had about a week ago at a party celebrating my new book, Selling Longevity. During the Q&A portion of the evening, I got a question I've never been asked before. And it's a really good question. And it got me thinking. And I thought, I need to explore this on the podcast and see what folks out there think about this. Now, the question came from a man named Andrew, who is a friend of mine who is not in the fitness industry. I know him from the gym. We've both been going to the same gym for many years here in Atlanta. Andrew is 69. He's a retired travel and tech executive. He's in great condition and has been working out, I don't know, forever, decades. And he raised the question about how gyms can market to people like him who are in good shape and want to stay in good shape as they continue to get older and perhaps experience some physical challenges or perhaps even decline that might seem inevitable as we age. Most of my presentation had focused on the segment of the over 50 population that is, deconditioned and might be intimidated or afraid to go to a gym for the first time in what could be years, maybe decades, maybe ever. Because let's face it, that's most of the people in the demographic. Most people don't do anything. So they are this deconditioned population for the most part. And that's where the greatest business opportunity is for gym owners. But Andrew, my friend at the event, raised this question: what about people like him? What about people like me? We're over 50. He and I are both over 60. We're in good condition. We've spent our lives working out, exercising, enjoying things like that. And we're not at all intimidated to go to a gym. So how can gyms stay relevant to us in their marketing? Granted, it's a smaller segment of the population, but it's still significant enough to warrant a conversation for this podcast, which is, after all, about marketing and communications for fitness for people over 50. What do you do? It's like you can't ignore the larger percentage of the population that really is deconditioned and really does need a different type of marketing approach and customer experience approach than people like me and Andrew, who maybe don't need so much orientation or assistance or welcoming, but also don't want to be treated badly or treated like we're 20 years old or any of the other mistakes that you can make, right? So Andrew's question was really interesting, got me thinking, and I decided that I would invite Andrew onto the podcast and have an interview with him and talk about this a little bit more with him. So that's the first portion of what you're going to see, me speaking with Andrew. And then after that, I have Dan Ritchie, who is the president and co-founder of the Functional Aging Institute and who owned a gym for many years serving the over 50 population. So it was just a really interesting question, sparked a lot of good conversation with Andrew, a fitness consumer, and Dan, a fitness provider. And I think you'll enjoy it. And I would love to hear what you think about this yourself. So shoot me an email at jjay@primefitcontent.com and let me know what you think. All right. Thanks very much. Here it is. Do you remember what you asked me?
Yeah, I think it was along the lines of what advice do you have for some of the I don't know what you're calling them, seniors or people in their prime or whatever, who have worked out and kept in shape all of their years as they get older? Is there any advice you would give them? Um, I think that was the question.
Yeah, I think it was too. It's funny. I asked the one of the women who threw the party for me to send me a copy of the recording because I wanted to know exactly what you said. Because I have to admit, there was something in my mind thinking really fast, like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this before." But it's a really good question. How am I going to answer
I could
this?
tell, I could tell.
You caught
Well,
me.
because I mean, it's legitimate. You have
Yes.
focused on getting people who are sedentary in their older years and saying, don't give up. You can start now. You can get on it.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's been your primary focus.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, but I don't know. Gym owners will also have, I see plenty of people in the gym, you and I, who have stayed in shape, and we have a different set of concerns. You know what runs through my mind, Jay? As I keep doing this, it's always, when am I not going to be able to do this? Okay. It's will I accept the limitations that my body is beginning to show me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's what extra efforts do I need to stay in shape and healthy? Like stretching. I think for me, stretching has become a lot more important as I've gotten older. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about how do I deal with some of the very common ailments that older people may have and still work out effectively, like my back. Okay. How do I do crunches? How do I do abs if I have a bad back? You know, so really working around not only the mental stuff that goes on about, the absolute fear of when is the shoe going to drop? When am I not going to be able to do this?
Right.
Which keeps me going, by the way, because I think the day that I stop going it'll all go downhill. Um, yeah, but that's a fear that I think we can face. That's an irrational fear that you keep in the back of your mind, which if you take it out and you look at it, okay, what you say is, gosh, aren't I lucky to be in good shape for a person this age? Would I ever have expected that?
Right.
Um, yeah, I can, maybe the amount of weights will go down, okay? Or I won't be able to do certain exercises because of joint pain or back pain or whatever. But I can learn a different way to do this. I can work around that limitation. And I think the important thing for me is to keep pushing against my limits, even though those limits may come down, right? Or even though I have to work around my back, um, or a bad shoulder, or uh, usually it's my elbow. So it's not falling into despair about those things, but learning how to work around it. And I think gyms could help people do that. I think gyms can help older, guys who have stayed in shape
Yeah.
to work through these very common issues.
How? What? That's kind of what I wanted to bring you on here because this podcast is primarily aimed at the gym owner. Not exclusively. I'm sure some civilians listen to it as well, and that's great. But the question you raised at the book signing last week directly translates to people who run these businesses. And so, what can they do, to make it easier for us? I wrote about this in the book. When my mother was still here, uh, she lived in a little town near Nashville, Tennessee. And when I would go up and see her, I always wanted to find a good gym, and couldn't find the right one. I'd go try this one and go try that one. Never quite worked. There was nothing that advertised for, hey, are you over 50 and want an adult experience at a gym? Come see us. There was
Yeah.
nothing.
So the first thing gym owners could do is acknowledge that this is a part of their target audience.
Yeah. Hey, are you a fitness professional trying to grow your business with people over 50? If you are, then you need to know how to communicate with them, how to market to them, and how to get them to trust you with their fitness, well-being, and money. We're talking about millions of people who are a little older than the typical market that the fitness industry usually pursues. They have more money, more time, and better motivation to make the best long-term fitness consumers you'll find anywhere. If you're not focusing on them, you should be. Prime Fit Content is the only content marketing company designed specifically to help you engage people in this group and to help you distinguish yourself from competitors in your community. It's effective, affordable, and super easy to use. Check it out at primefitcontent.com. That's prime, like prime of your life, fitcontent.com. Back to the show.
There is a fair number of people, a material percentage of their customers are people like us
Mm-hmm.
who are older and in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you serve that portion of your market, of that portion of your client base? Acknowledge them. You know, there has to be special programs. Everybody's doing what part of dementia, and it's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
getting
yeah.
um
What, pickleball?
no,
No.
it's the intense workout,
Oh,
Barry's, and
hit.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
everybody's, and I'm intimidated to go to a Barry's because I don't know that I could do what they're doing.
yeah,
So how about a boot camp for older in shape guys? Don't treat
yeah.
us like, you know, we're
Like you're gonna break,
incapable.
right?
No. But fashion exercises and stretches that cater to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, don't make us do 100 burpees. We ain't going there. Acknowledge that we're here. Acknowledge that you're not only looking for that 20, 30 something year old in shape person, but
Mm-hmm.
that you have 15%, 20% of your market of these older guys who are coming in who are in great shape. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
um, cater to them, acknowledge them first. Hey, we're glad you're here. You're amazing. You've done everything you've needed to do to get to this point in your life, and you're still and you're in great shape.
Yeah,
Now, how do you keep that?
yeah,
Okay. How do you not give up mentally? How do you adjust to your body, changes?
right.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
we talked about some of this at the party, and the best I could come up with on the fly, thank you very much, were things like understanding it's your responsibility and that these habits that you've developed are assets that you need to maintain at this point in life and into the future, and accepting that you are still aging, and that just like you can't be 25 again, you can't even be 5 years earlier again. We're just aging. It only goes
60,
in one way. Yeah, how old are you? 68?
69.
69. It only goes.
I'm already saying I'm almost 70. It's just to
Yeah,
get used to it.
yeah, well, why not? I mean, it only goes in one direction, and so we really just have to accept that and stop focusing on what we can't do, and stop thinking that, well, I'm old, so I might as well just sit here. Like, no, you can still have a lot of life left in you and still do everything that you want to do. It just might be a little bit less, might
Yeah,
be a
it
little
might be
bit
a little
different.
bit less, but the important thing is that you do still push to your limits, whatever they are. You do address your mental, those thoughts that go through your head of, oh,
Hmm.
just give up, your body's going to age and fall apart anyway.
Yeah,
Address that consciously, and there's an intelligent response to that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, and then how good do you feel no matter what age you are after you work out?
Right.
How much better do you feel about yourself?
Mhm.
Not only from the endorphins that get released, but you fit better in clothes, maybe you attract to that occasional daddy lover,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's true. And the other thing I think is important is we have to take care of our whole health as we mature and continue to
right.
age. And I think I mentioned things like keep all your doctor appointments and take the appropriate no, I'm serious. People blow that off.
Listen,
They blow off
Jay,
their
I
dental
have at
appointment
least
and
like
then
two
they've got
doctor
major
appointments a
issues.
week. Yeah, I mean, it's ears, it's prostate, it's, you
Okay,
name it.
I'm not there yet. I'm still at the stage where, I go see the doctor once a year and he draws my blood and I see the dentist twice a year and they clean my teeth and all of that. But it's easy to blow that off, and say, "Oh, I don't need to go. I feel fine." No, you don't know if you feel fine. Who cares how you feel? Go to the
Or
damn doctor.
or you don't feel fine. It's been
Yeah.
amazing to me that I go with knee pain and I just think, oh, I go to, oh, knee replacement. Okay. And the doctor gives me exercises to do and things to stretch. And weeks later, I don't have knee pain anymore
Yeah.
or prostate, enlarged prostate. Well,
Yeah.
I go to a doctor and, the frequent bladder, the
Yeah.
urgency and the frequency. They now have cures for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're amazing.
Yeah.
So it's part of that not giving up. Go fix what needs to get fixed.
Yeah.
There's sometimes a good remedy for what needs to get fixed.
Right. Right. Well, exactly. And I think that all of that is just as important to maintaining your health and fitness as continuing to go to the gym or play golf or racquetball or pickleball or whatever it is that you like to do. I talk a lot about going to the gym, and that is the primary focus because I really believe that we need strength training and as well as cardio and flexibility. And I think the gym is the ideal place to get all of that. Um, but really, I would just be thrilled if more people our age did anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's your major challenge, okay?
Yeah.
Because they've given up. And how that's God bless you. I mean, that is a big hill to climb to get someone who's been sedentary suddenly to say, okay, I'm going to get in the gym and I'm going to start,
Yeah.
even if it's small.
Yeah.
God bless you. I mean, I think you have success with that. It's worth every bit of effort for that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but there's a whole, I go back. If I'm a gym owner, what are my chances of bringing the sedentary elderly into the
Yeah.
gym
Yeah.
versus catering and attracting to the target market that is mature and in shape? Okay.
Okay.
And catering to their needs.
So let's have a hypothetical here. You and I have been going to the same gym for many years here in Atlanta. Has a very diverse clientele age wise. You see, I think they've got teenagers in there. They look like teenagers. If they're not, they're barely 20.
They're
And
probably 40.
yeah, and then there's people our age and everything in between. And I think that's kind of deliberate on the owner's part to fill the gym up at various times of day. People our age can go in the daytime, kids can go
Right.
at night, the whole thing. So let's say that you move, you've been in Atlanta for a long time. Let's say that you move to a new comparable city. You move to Denver or Dallas or Chicago, and you need to find a new gym. And you go on Google or you look on Facebook or you talk to friends or you drive around your neighborhood to find one. What kind of things would be helpful to you that would say, not only does this gym want older people, but this gym wants older people who know what they're doing in a gym?
Okay. So, first identify me as a target market. Okay. And I don't know, I can't think on my feet as quickly and say, not the older in fit guy, but it's the person who has matured and been active their whole life
Yeah.
and is still healthy. Okay. That's who you are. And I want to encourage you to continue that even as your body changes. And maybe there are special stretching classes. Okay. Uh, Maybe there are just classes for people 45, 50 and older. One of the, and it's not only about fitness. I think people our age often are also looking for community.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And having a class that caters to that segment, I think might help create some community.
Yeah.
And if you're creating community in a gym, more likely to show up.
It's really interesting, and I'm glad that you brought it up at the event, even though I was a little annoyed with you for putting me on the spot with a question I've never been asked before. I'm kidding. It was a great question. I'm glad you asked it, and I'm glad that you made time to talk to me tonight. So
Yeah,
thank you very much.
you're welcome.
And I
Yeah.
guess I'll see you at the gym.